Hi everyone, this is Total War Therapy, and today I'm gonna explain to you the 4 different categories of melee infantry of this game. Of course, this is just my opinion after many years of playing and so many thousands of hours that I'm not proud of. But yes, this is a very complex game with a lot of hidden stats and mechanics, and sometimes it's hard to understand the big picture of it. I chose the faction of high health because they have a well-rounded army and they have some kind of they have any of these 4 category of units included in their armies. The first kind of category of infantry I will talk about are the defensive units. You can call them the absorbing units and so on, but their purpose is just to be in the front line or in the back guard on the flank, but mainly on your front line to protect your army. They have a lot of defense, and this is their biggest stat, but then they have lower attack and very low weapon strength because they are not supposed to deal damage. And they have a little of armor too, this is another big point, but yeah, they are not supposed to deal damage. You will see that even the most elite of this category, like it can be the Iron Breakers, the Iron Sword, of course, dwarves, even if they are so tough, so expensive, so armored, with such a big defense, they will really deal a little damage for their price. Okay, because their role is just to absorb damage. Then you have to deal damage with magic and monster, other kind of infantry, flanking, charging cavalry, and spells, abilities, so on. But yeah, they are not. They will never deal damage to your enemy. They will just be there and protect you. Normally, they are shielded because they will be protected by missile uh, missile damage. So if there will be some archers in your opponent army that will throw arrow with a shield, they will just it will be reduced the amount of damage they will take, and then they have normally spears because they need to have a charge defense and charge reflection. So when a cavalry or a fast infantry will charge them, they will deal that damage to them and it will be protected from the charging damage. And this is very important, guys, for your defensive units. Of course, in this case, there are even, for example, the swordmen with shield or without shield, that or the mid shield overall, that they don't have spears sometimes, they don't have charge reflection, but you will use them in any case, like zombies. You will use them in any case to protect your army, to absorb the damage, and basically to babysitting the vulnerable unit in your army. The second category, that it's very similar to the first category, but you have just to understand that you have to use them in different ways, are the flankers. The flankers are still actually a defensive units made to absorb damage, but normally they don't have all the protection that the defensive units have. For example, they are more vulnerable to missile damage because they normally don't have shield, so they will choose to prioritize them. It would be a problem, but they will be a little more far from the front line, so normally the archers of your enemy will focus more on your front line than on them. Normally I choose the Phoenix Guard because, as you can see, they have a lot of melee defense, but at the same time they are very slow and very tough, very armored. Your enemy will try as hard as possible to hit your flanks. The AI is just made in this way. If they have cavalry, dogs, many things, they will try to hit your flank. Then they will try to make the circle and still reach your artillery, your missile units. That's why it's always helpful to have even a couple of cavalry of characters just to deal with the like fast dogs that will just go around your flankers, not only your front line, but even your flankers to reach your artillery. But you need your flankers to be the toughest units of your army because it will be the most damaged area of all your army composition. In this case, we can say that the spearman can be used as a flanker but the Phoenix Guard cannot be used as a flanker, and this is the main difference. Even because I can tell you that the Phoenix Guard can be a little wasted in the front of, your front line, where I don't know, some Skaven slaves will attack them and they will spend minutes, a lot of minutes, try to take them down, never managing to do it because they don't do overall so much damage. So the best way to use them is on your flanks or as a support units, but we will talk right now. The third category of units that I want to talk with you about are the support infantry units. I chose for the purpose the Lions of Krasa because, as you can see, they have a big defense, but not that big. They deal a lot of damage. They have a lot of attack, a lot of weapon strength. In this case, even armor piercing. But at the same time, they are not charge reflection. They have not charge reflection. They are not. They have not shields. So you cannot use them as a front line. Normally, you put this unit in the second line, a little far from the front line, because if there will be a spell that will cover a large area, then they will be affected even without being actually in the game. But when the front line of your enemy will engage with your front line, at that point you have to take your decision. You have just to check which are the units that actually will deal more damage to my front line. Maybe there is a very tough infantry that is attacking a little more on the right. In that case, you have to send one of your Lions of Krasa to the right. They need a clear path. This is very important because you will never know where your enemy will attack harder your front line, and in that case you need to have a clear path just to send them here. If they will be too close or they will stack into each other, they will just lose a lot of time and it will be a waste. That's why it's even important for them to be faster. In this case, with Lions of Krasa is not the best example, but think about Demonet of Slanesh or Bloodletters of Core. They are the best support units because they are very vulnerable. You cannot use them as a front line. It would be crazy. But maybe as a flanker, but no, sorry, the flank, another kind, forget this. They have to be very fast too. In this case, probably Lions of Krasa are not the best example, but think about Demonet of Slanesh or Bloodletters of Core. They are the best, the support units, because they are very vulnerable. So you cannot put them in the front line because they will take so much damage and they will die even against a couple of Skaven. But if you use them as a support, they will take the discipline, the leadership of the other units, and at the same time they will support them with their greater weapon damage and attack, and in that case they will fulfill their scope. The fourth category of units that I want to talk to you about are the Skirmish Infantry. The example I choose are the Rangers, that actually are the best example for this category. They are very fast, they have Vanguard deployment. They can, this kind of units can have Vanguard deployment stalk because they are not supposed to be in your army composition. Okay, you don't have in your formation. You cannot put them in the second line. It would be a waste because they are fast. They have stalk, sometimes Vanguard. So you have to hide them in the forest. You have to make them go around your enemy army and go to attack like the artillery or the other missile units, archers and gunners, and so on. In short, they have to attack the most powerful, the most vulnerable and the most powerful units in your enemy army. Just go around their army and flank them. But you don't have to use them defensively. You cannot just put them in the second line as a support unit or worse as a flankers. It would be really a waste. You have to put them all around the map, and of course, hope always you have to keep an eye. They'll require a lot of micromanagement, but be careful because they can be hit by cavalry and so on. But if you cover that kind, like if you hit their cavalry with your cavalry, then they will have an easy way to reach the artillery and so on and deal a lot of damage to them. Thank you for following me. I made this video like six times because every time it looks like I was not that clear. Maybe we'll do another one, who knows? But I hope this is the last. Thank you for following me. Please don't forget to subscribe and see you soon.